All right, golfers, this week's tip is going to be about stretching. We call it PNF stretching. It stands for proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. And what it does is it really helps if you've got hamstrings that are always tight or if your hips are always tight. It actively contracts the muscle and then allows for a greater range of motion. So a lot of our golfers just say, oh, I can't loosen up my hamstrings. They're just really tight no matter how much I stretch them, or no matter how much I stretch my hips, they'll never loosen up. This is a great tip. It does involve a partner. So if you've got a stretching buddy, this is great. And so for the hamstrings, we're gonna have both legs flat. And so what I do is I get, depending on how tight your hamstrings are, most people feel a stretch right about there, okay? And so what I do is just gently, you don't wanna push on the knee this way, you're just kind of bracing the leg. If you have really tight hamstrings, a little bit of bend in the knee is okay. And what I tell the client to do is I want you to actively use this hamstring muscle and push your leg into me. I usually do that for about 10 seconds. After the person is pushing, I want them to let go, relax, and then we are able to stretch the muscle even more. When I stretch it, I typically hold it for a little bit longer, maybe 15 to 20 seconds, and then I'm gonna relax again. I tell the patient again, use your hamstring, push into me, do about a 10-second count. You wanna make sure they're not using any of their lower back and they're just activating the hamstring, which can be tricky at some times. Relax. Each time you should notice you should be able to stretch the hamstring a little bit more. So hold this again for 15, 20 seconds. I usually do it for about 3 different times. So that's how you would do the hamstring. The next one I do is the glute muscle, because in golf, the most common things we see are lower back pain, which is due to tight hips and tight glutes. So this is a very easy glute stretch. What you're gonna do is bring your knee into your chest and then over to the opposite shoulder. So the golfer should feel this stretch in their glute. And so again, we're gonna have the client try to actively use this glute muscle and push your knee up and out here. And so I'm just gonna resist that again for about a 10-second count and then relax. We should be able to get even more of a stretch. Again, we're gonna hold it for maybe 15, 20 seconds, then relax. Go ahead and push again. Hold that, resist for about 10 seconds, relax. Push even more for about 15 to 20, and again, I do it about 3 different times, and by the second to third time, both the golfer and the person stretching should notice an improvement in range of motion. When we're doing it, if you're pushing too hard, sometimes just lay back to like 50% of your strength. So those are 2 tips for PNF stretching for the hamstrings and the glutes to help loosen up hamstrings that just won't tighten up, or if your hips are really tight and no matter how much stretching you do, just grab a stretching buddy and try the PNF stretching. It should help increase your mobility.